With the Survey Advanced Edition, you have the ability to create corridors. A corridor is a linear model or a linear surface that is created from a horizontal and vertical alignment along with a typical section. To create the corridor, you're going to have an alignment like we have here, which I have brought in from a Land XML file. You can see the vertical profile down here below. I'm going to go to the Corridors tab, and I'm going to simply pick Create Corridor. When I do this, it's going to prompt me for a name, so we'll just call this Courthouse Road to match our alignment that we're using, which is the courthouse alignment. You'll select that here. You'll select the vertical alignment. You can select the original ground, and this is going to be a reference so you can see the original ground versus your proposed. You can define what your native material on site is, so you would use your Material Site Improvement Manager to create a material that you can use as your native material, such as your on-site topsoil or on-site soil. And then you can use your fill material, which may be borrowed material or other on-site material. You can also select reference lines, so a reference line will show up in the template editor along with the reference surface. So if I was to select one of these surfaces, I'd be able to use that when I create my cross-section template. Once you fill out these properties, you'll click OK, and it'll ask you where do you want to insert the corridor template. So we're going to start at 0 at the beginning of our corridor alignment, and then we're going to choose new definition in this case because we're creating a new template. We can copy an existing template, we can reference an existing template, or we can import a template that's been created previously and saved out as a file on our network somewhere or our computer. So we're just going to give it a name. We'll call this let's just call this 24 foot road. So we're going to create a 24-foot road. I'm going to insert, and at this stage you're going to insert your templates. Now there's this whole series of what they call instruction types. So you can define offset and slope, offset elevation, side slope, so on and so forth. I'm going to simply choose an offsetted slope, and I'm going to go from my node, which would be the beginning of my road here. I'm going to do an offset from my centerline Courthouse Road, and my offset is going to be 12 because I'm going to go to the right first, and my slope is going to be -2. And then I'm just going to put in EP for the edge of pavement. I'm going to add that, and now you'll see when I add that instruction what it's doing down here, it's also creating my surface, and it's automatically creating the surface. This is in 3D, so you can see half of my road is being defined here. Now I can do the other one simply by using the same tool, and I could go to the center line and I could say -12 with a -2 and call this EP and add that. And now I have my 24-foot road. Now I can add other instructions off of these instructions. I can use tools like Mirror. There's a whole series of other options that I can use for inserting my instruction type. Could be a surface, super elevation, conditional, slope elevation, side slopes. And then each offset and slope has some properties where you can define what that offset is. You can use an offset. You can go node to node, which is, I could draw another instruction that went from node 2 to node 3 or 3 to 2. You can use a table. So at maybe a specified station and offset, you have, let's say 10 plus zeros, you have an offset of 10. And at 15 plus zeros, you have an offset of 15. Well, you can build that station and offset table here and use that to define your offset. The same thing with the slopes. You can choose slope percent, slope ratio, node to node, table, and you can even create what's called a share slope table. We'll cover some of these other features here in additional videos within this chapter.